What do people think makes them look cool, but actually makes them look like a douchebag? So I got my first tech job at this startup downtown right out of college. First week there, I met this guy Troy. He'd started like 2 weeks before me and was already acting like he owned the place. Troy shows up on day one wearing these bright white sneakers that probably cost more than my rent. I'm talking pristine, never-touched pavement-type shoes. Then he starts talking about his watch collection during our team lunch. Like, dude, we all make the same salary here, what collection? But he kept going on about his Rolex this and his vintage Omega that. By week 3, Troy's flexing got worse. He'd order lunch for the office and make sure everyone knew he only ate Wagyu beef. He'd interrupt meetings to talk about his weekend trips to Napa and how he only drinks wine that costs more than $200 a bottle. The guy literally said, "I don't do chain restaurants," when someone suggested getting pizza for the team. Everyone was getting annoyed, but Troy didn't notice. He thought people were impressed. Meanwhile, we're all rolling our eyes behind his back in the group chat. The office had this janitor, Mr. Ellis. Super quiet older black guy, probably in his 60s. Always had a book sticking out of his back pocket, kept to himself, did his job without bothering anyone. Really polite when you talked to him, just minded his own business. Troy treated him like furniture. Would walk right past him without even looking up from his phone. One time, Mr. Ellis was mopping near Troy's desk, and Troy actually moved his fancy shoes up onto his chair like he was avoiding contamination or something. But the worst part happened on a Thursday afternoon. Troy was bragging to some coworkers about his stock portfolio when Mr. Ellis walked by with his cleaning cart. Troy looks at him, laughs, and goes, "Must be nice not having to worry about KPIs and investor calls, huh? Just push a mop around and call it a day." The whole office went dead silent. Like you could hear the air conditioning humming. Mr. Ellis just smiled, nodded, and kept wiping down the table next to us. Didn't say a word back. Troy smirked like he'd made some brilliant observation. I felt sick to my stomach watching it happen. A few people looked uncomfortable, but nobody said anything. Troy just went back to talking about his weekend plans to go wine tasting in Sonoma. The next week, our company does this monthly thing called Lunch and Learn. Usually, it's some boring presentation about workplace safety or new software we're using. But this time, the founder announced they had a special guest coming to talk about financial planning and building wealth. We're all sitting in the conference room eating sandwiches when the founder goes, "I'd like you all to meet our speaker, Dr. Ellis." And in walks our janitor, except he's wearing a nice button-down shirt and carrying a briefcase. Troy's face went white. Like, actually white. His sandwich was halfway to his mouth and he just froze. Turns out Mr. Ellis wasn't just the janitor. His full name was Dr. Robert Ellis, and he used to be a financial consultant for major banks before he retired. He had a PhD in economics from Northwestern. He only took the janitorial job because he wanted to stay active after retirement and help out his son's company from the inside. His son, the founder, our boss. Dr. Ellis starts his presentation talking about generational wealth and how most actually rich people don't wear their money on their sleeves. He's up there explaining compound interest and investment strategies like he's been doing it his whole life, which he had. The guy was clearly brilliant. Troy is sinking lower and lower in his chair. At one point, Dr. Ellis looks right at him while talking about how flashy spending is usually a sign of financial insecurity. Young people think expensive shoes and watches make them look successful, but real wealth is invisible. It's in your savings account, your investments, your ability to weather financial storms. After the presentation, the founder casually mentions to the team, "Oh, and by the way, Dr. Ellis bought his first rental property before most of you were born. He's been retired for 5 years, but still makes more in passive income than our entire payroll combined." Troy didn't say a word for the rest of the day. Next week, he showed up in normal sneakers and a regular button-down shirt. No more talk about wine collections or Wagyu beef.